Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
we are here.
I'm Tom, and this is.
All right, I got I had my second screen there giving us an echo. Okay, I was like, I don't need that.
Uh,
Boy.
this is Eric, and we are the vlog of many things tonight. Sans one host.
Yes.
So,
So, Don is beat to crap. Uh, Literally working the printing press on overtime to get things out for this weekend. So, um, here, don't be offended. You will not be seeing comments come up on the screen. However, we will take time out every once in a while to address everybody's comments because neither Tom nor I have admin rights.
yeah.
So we can't put you up on the screen, but we can say thank you to Scott, Fugly, Paul. Welcome. Glad to see you. I can see your chats. Uh, so we're happy to be here on. He'll fix that tomorrow.
Yeah. Don't worry about it, Don.
Yeah, it's not a. We're professionals. Don't try this at home. Uh, I, I I say that very
Tongue in cheek.
yeah. We're not professionals. Please. I will be doing a seminar at Page basically on how to start a YouTube channel, and I am the least professional person to be running a YouTube channel.
We do play a professional in an RPG.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, I'll be the first to admit this. When I was a rookie cop and I had a situation, usually because somebody's asking you a question and I had no idea what to do, in my mind, I would do, if I was role playing a cop, what would my answer be? And I'll be honest with you, folks, 9 times out of 10, it was the right answer.
Oh,
The
wow.
one time in 10, maybe you don't pull your firearm at that situation. I'm just saying. But the other 9 times in 10, role playing, being a cop, it took away the pressure of being on the spot. In the back of your mind, you probably knew what to do anyway. Terry, welcome. Mr. Gunn, welcome. Again, we'll repeat. Neither Tom nor I have the power behind the screen, so we can't put up your comments, but we are reading them all. So, Tom, what do we? There are events going on in the industry and beyond, but what do we want to talk about tonight?
Well, there are things we could talk about, and then there are things we could talk about. But I had
Well,
proposed.
yeah, I'm not talking about what we talk about when it's you and me, and the cone of silence from Get Smart comes down, and
We're making fun of certain people that we like to make fun of, certain individuals.
Us never. I would never mock the mentally disadvantaged. I would never do that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, no, I had brought up the issue of Modifius just got a licensing deal on Space 1999, and I thought, Scooby, that's a little bit old because I remembered Star Frontiers getting a licensing deal on 2001: A Space Odyssey, and that didn't work out so well for Star Frontiers, for TSR Inc. back in the day. Some of those licensing deals were kind of dogs for TSR Inc. and didn't pay.
Yeah.
And so I kind of brought it up to you. I think you covered it on your channel.
I did cover it, and actually got decent amount of views. And listen, I had the eagle. Okay, I broke my eagle, throwing it off the back porch into a snowbank. And if you know New York City weather in the winter, snowbanks are snowbanks for about 12 hours. After which point they are ice banks because the temperatures change and they refreeze. So my eagle, which was supposed to come apart into different pieces, was permanently apart in different pieces. So, but I am quite sure that my parents got it at a discount store because Space 1999 was, I think, already out of repeats, but it didn't matter to me because it was large and awesome. And You know, when we can't put your chat up, you guys are even more chatty. It's like, hey, here's what you guys got to do. You got to make sure that Tom and Eric are constantly reading out your chat. Scott, thank you for yes. I look forward to seeing you at the con. Mr. Gunn, you're only bringing this up because Bad Mike's not here to talk about how much he loves Ginny D. But yes, you can watch Dungeons. Was it Dragons and Discourse? Dragons and Discourse. My favorite Irish chick, Rach loves her. One of the few gaming channels that Rach will actually watch, not just kind of put her headphones on and pretend that she's in a room with me. She actually watches, and she made a very good point in pointing out all these channels that are doing the shilling for D&D 2024.
Mm,
I don't. You know them when you see them,
yeah.
and listen. One of the advantages, and I'm going to say this with a little bit tongue in cheek, one of the advantages of watching channels like mine, like Don's, like Tom's, Joe the Lawyer's, stuff like this, is we're not big enough to have anybody really want to buy us out and pay us to talk about this shit. So we can be very honest and
Yeah.
give you our honest opinions. And I'm sure my honest opinions will be brought up on Sunday on Unappropriate Characters for that live stream. Yes. Oh my God.
Looking
I
forward to
know.
that.
Yeah, you know, I still remember when Grim Jim was one of the three hosts, and they were somehow I came up as a topic, and Grim in his wonderful, polite British accent, which I can't quite do the Grim Jim accent, but he's like, Tenkar is so neutral, it's pathological.
I love that quote. You should get that as a T-shirt.
Where Tenkar is so neutral, it's pathological. So, and I'm sure I'm going to be asked something of that tier.
Okay, let me jump on Paul Catrone's comment here, since he said at Tom. What are
Yes.
the odds that that Vag, or maybe he meant vagabond, or something along those lines, confused repentant with repugnant? Possibly, but no official comment. We're not supposed to be discussing him.
You know, the individual in question doesn't really use any spell check or any other kind of app that would correct their spelling mistakes. So, yeah.
Well,
So you can't,
I think you actually identified the fact that he was not a native speaker of English, and named the language that he uses. So, you know.
yeah. When your native language is bullshit, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And
Oh, you would love to have Bad Mike. Listen, Bad Mike's got to take some time off for his beauty rest. You know, come on, that man's overworked as it is.
Okay, so Scott Mulder says, I saw Eric's video on that. Not sure what Modifius can do with that IP that would be new and refreshing. The moon drifting through the cosmos has some suspension of disbelief. That is true. I have some ideas. I've been actually digging into this today behind the scenes. So we get into it a little bit deeper. I'll tell you what I really think is going to happen with it. Thyatis says, sup, folks. Mr. Gunn, this is at Tenkar's Tavern. I have been causing a stir on Professor Dungeon Craft's Patreon, yammering about YouTuberati.
Yeah, you know, these are the YouTube peoples that are the privileged ones that get the end. They listen. They sell their souls and they get the inside look at Watsi. I don't listen. First off, I don't know how much my soul is actually worth in this community. So I don't think it's worth negotiating. What I'd get back for it, you know, might be like a D&D pin. I don't know. I don't think I get all that much.
So
But,
if you made the deal with the devil over your soul, he might want his money back.
listen, if Watsi was the devil, I don't think that they'd be thinking they'd be getting a good deal, because honestly, nobody's coming to me to go, well, Tenkar is going to talk highly of D&D 2024. Let me listen to him, because we know. No, no, I'm going to probably talk shit about it. So if I started talking nice about it, everybody would go, dude, this
Oh,
man's on the take. You know, is Tom the bag man? What's going on here?
no, no, Luke's the bag man.
Oh, Luke's the bag. Luke's the bag man. Luke's the bag man. Fugly, I'd buy that for $1. Mr. Gunn, Tenkar, are you neutral good or neutral evil?
Mm.
That's like one of those like questions that it's kind of saying it's not a political question because I'm changing the terms. How about this? Based upon the point of view of the listener, of the viewer, I am either neutral good or neutral evil. I know what I think I am. I would say I'm certainly good, but depending on the point of view, Ed, nobody in the gaming community sees themselves as an asshole. Nobody sees themselves as, well, some might see themselves as a shit stirrer, but everybody believes that their opinion is golden and that they are the ones that are right, and it's their responsibility
That is true.
to preach and convert others, whether it's about gaming or social issues or politics. And people like Tom and I, Don, Bad Mike, and many others, you can't converse. We don't talk that language. We don't care. We don't put our politics into our gaming. So you can't get us involved in this bullshit. And people don't realize that. I can tell this I will say this as a fact. You put Don, Tom, and me in a room and gave us, I don't know, 5 different political issues. I don't think you'd find one political issue where we all lined up together and we would all be somewhere different on the scale, but with great friends. Because this isn't what truly matters. I'll be honest with you. Whoever's in the presidency has never affected my life directly. Indirectly, sure, inflation and but directly affected my life. Never directly affected my life. 4 years go by, and I'm like, who? When were they? Oh shit, I forgot about that. So
Well,
I'm not
I
over.
I grew up in a home where one of my parents was Republican and pretty right Republican, and one of my parents was Democrat. And these are my parents, and I love them both, and they made it work as a marriage. And but I waited till one of them had passed, and I asked the other one. I says, how did the two of you make it work?" And this person said, "Well, your mother knew enough not to open her mouth." And I knew he was only saying that because he was taking advantage of the fact she was dead. She couldn't say anything. It was funny, and I knew I wasn't going to get a good answer from him out of that, but it was what it was, and it was just absolutely funny. And that was where I grew up. So
Right.
we don't crucify people over politics.
My parents are both registered as opposite parties. One's a Democrat, one's a Republican. But they said when they got married, that's when they actually decided to register for a party. And they did that, and they were like, you know what? We should both register for a different party. That way we get all the mailings. And that way we always know what's going on. And you know what? There's a lot of sense to that. There is a lot of sense to that.
I did what your parents did with registering my cell phone number with a far left group and a far right group. And so I would get these text messages to see what the extremes were doing,
right?
Just so I'd have an idea. Well, one of these groups actually has shared out my phone number with all their friends, so I get a million text messages, and it's absolutely insane. So one of these far extreme groups has absolutely sold my number, and the other one has
Oh.
not, and I find that really fascinating.
One side it's like we need the money. The other side is like we have honor. I'm not saying which side is which, folks. Now I will say one thing. I have a Google number, and I chose the Google number honestly based on the fact that the last 4 digits in a number was my Sergeant Shield number. So if you ever want to send me a text or call and leave a voicemail for one of our shows, 347. Oh my God, I can't remember I don't know. But the last one to 5 ones, I'll have to look it up. But I was getting a couple of years ago. Actually, you know what? In 2020, somebody screwed up the person that they were texting, and I kept on getting text messages for somebody that was very involved in the protests. Very involved in the protests, telling me where to meet, what to bring. And then finally, after about like 7 of these, I had to go back and say, I am not the person you think I am. And you're probably lucky I'm retired from the job you likely think I did have. Because I mean, if I was still working, it would have been a call to intel. Like, I think they're going to be here with they are putting boards out ahead of time, apparently for something I don't know, at the corner of Prince Street. Just to let you know, it was weird.
Oh wow,
Fugly, pathological neutral and new alignment.
I like that actually.
Don't give me up, Mr. Gunn. I repent for my repugnancy. You can't repent, Mr. Gunn. You are as you are. That is as far as you're going to get. No repenting. I'm going to skip your comment from a movie because I don't want Don to get demonetized because of something named after a street in the South Bronx, the intersection of Hoe Avenue, HOE, and Vice, VYSE. But Hoe and Vice was a great place to. I worked that precinct. It just happened to be great. Don Tenkar is a lemon. I don't get you, Mr. Gunn. Sometimes.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get you either. You know what? You're gonna have if it's one of those dad jokes, you're gonna have to explain it to me because my son.
When you gotta explain it.
Yeah, and it's not 8. That's not the number, Mr. Gunn. That's not the number. Show Chubby Funster, Greg, welcome. We ain't gonna show you nothing. You can't see him. So, man, you guys are gonna you're gonna make this like a free for all. We're just gonna
18 minutes and we haven't really gotten to the topic.
I don't even remember what the topic was. I mean, listen, there was a topic, but that was Don's topic. We're free. We're free agents.
Well, no, I proposed it to Don, and
all right.
I actually even did prep.
Well, I thought that the topic that you were pitching was a topic that was like a Don specialty.
Survives contact with the live chat.
Listen, when you gotta roll, you gotta go live. You gotta go raw. This is why you always need my advice 101 for live chats. Minimum two people on the screen, especially if you have to.
I got a question for you, Eric.
Yeah.
Don stepped out and left us in charge, but neither one of us are admins. How do we shut down his live stream, or will it just run in perpetuity till he wakes up?
Actually, no. When one of us ends the live, it'll end it. Well, no, maybe not. That only happened because Joe had admin rights. So, Joe has admin rights to the tavern. Why I did that, I don't know. I just, I've known Joe for years. And then one night he thought he misnamed his live stream. So we're live. He ends his live stream so he can rename it. And what he did was he ended the live stream for all of us.
Oh, but he had admin rights.
He had admin rights. Now neither one of us have admin rights.
So
we can't
this could
do
keep
that.
running and running and running.
Yeah. And forever. Dante and I'd be like, oh my God, I used up all my StreamYard recording time.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to host the next one.
Yeah. Topic, I don't know, man. I don't know. Call for orders of the day. No. Hiatus noted new alignments to add to chart. Chaotic Lanasty.
And
Pathologically neutral and courtroom reporter.
I like courtroom reporter.
There you go.
I could go with that.
Those alignments sound like Palladium alignments, actually.
What did you always play as 12, 13, 14 years old for alignment? I had one I always played.
It depended because I did a lot of GMing, but when I wasn't GMing or DMing, sorry, get the proper pronunciation there. When I wasn't DMing, my main character was Striker, the Paladin, so he was lawful good.
Lawful good, yeah.
And then my magic user Valen and my illusionist Phasmir, because that sounded really, really intelligent when I was 13. Phasmir, the illusionist, I believe they were both neutral good.
You see, I always chose neutral. I don't want to be a goody two shoes, so I'll be neutral. But I didn't want to be any of the other stuff, so I would be neutral good. But one game I did play a druid, so I think I was neutral, just straight neutral.
Straight as neutral. And reality is, the way D&D is written, you can't play straight ass neutral. It just doesn't. What do you do? Well, one day I'll adventure with the good people. The next paper day, no, you don't. The evil still destroys nature. If you look at neutral as nature, it's all bag of shit. Chubby Greg wants to know best TTRPG, the one you're playing. No, the one that you're playing is not the best one. All right, the one that you're writing. That's not the best one.
That would be Blades and Arcana, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but if it's not that, I think the best RPG is the one that gets assembled at my game tip, which will be bits and pieces of many of the OSR games out there, because everything has something that I want to steal. Dragon Slayer from Greg Gillespie has stuff that I want to steal, but I don't necessarily like the whole game. But I got stuff I really, really like. Yeah. And I like OSC because it feels so familiar and presented so cleanly. And there's stuff from Osric, and there's stuff I'd like to go back and get from the Rules Cyclopedia. So, but, I could just be Joe the Lawyer and put together 24 pages of house rules and claim I'm playing 2E by the book. And, yeah. By the way, we're coming up on ShireCon in a month and a half, 2 months, and Joe started playtesting his home system last ShireCon, and I don't think he's written much for it since. So if you're playing in Joe's game at ShireCon, make sure you break the rules, okay? Because they're made to be broken.
I'm going to be trying to run 2 games myself at ShireCon, so we'll see how that goes. But we actually have to schedule a babysitter.
Oh.
Because of reasons.
You reasons? Papers, we need your papers. Like,
A babysitter and a dog sitter, both, actually.
Oh, well. Teach the dog how to babysit. Teach the baby how to feed the dog and clean up poop. Which, by the way, I learned this when my niece was 2. And we had our prior dog. And the dog, I would walk the kid to go see the train, bring the dog, and the dog would poop, and I go, Shannon, you gonna clean up? No poops, no poops, and she'd run away. She'd run away from the responsibility of cleaning up poops. So even at 2, they understand. They want nothing to do with dog shit. Just saying. Well,
Well, we've been trying to do a little bit of potty training, and so I asked, hey, let's go change your diaper, and so she went straight to the bathroom. I says, oh, you got to poop? She goes, yeah. Put her on the toilet. She just farted.
here I sit, broken-hearted.
It was funny. It was funny. It was great.
Oh, but she's got the concept. That's good.
So yeah, hey, we're moving right along. So
Holly Mack, welcome. Terry, if you're the neutral good or chaotic good.
Yep.
I
would be tempted to go chaotic good.
Yeah, if I was playing an elf. Who plays elves? Oh my God.
My first character class was an elf.
All right. Well, you're forgiven. I know you. Chubby Funster, Franken PG Homebrew. Little of how. By the way, folks, we're reading everything out loud because neither of us have admin rights. I can't put your comment up on the screen. We respect all the comments, so we want to make sure that everything gets read. Holly, little of all the columns of the things you like. Greg, talk about D&D 2024. D&D 2024, for those of you who can't get it soon enough, beg, borrow, or steal access to Gen Con next week. They are releasing 7,500 copies a day. Apparently, according to Roll for Combat, I believe it was Glick, they're going to have special plates so you know that you got the Gen Con limited edition, only 30,000 copies. And I am willing to put a $100 bill on the table. If my wallet wasn't empty, but I'm just saying, figurative $100 bill. There we go. That by Friday, we are going to have a digital copy of this rule book ready for people are going to whisper about it on N-World, and N-World's going to lock it down and go, you can't talk about it. And then somebody on Reddit's going to go, hey, look what I found on Scribd or some other site like that.
Yeah.
And then everybody's going to have it.
Yeah. And that'll be good to actually get a copy and squirrel it away so that 10 years from now, there's some controversy about the rule says this, and they've changed the digital copy, the digital rules. You'll have that bootleg PDF that you can pull it up and go, no, they've changed it. And, and then, of course, there'll be recriminations and accusations of photoshopped and all that other good stuff.
You photoshopped it. It really isn't. That D20 isn't a real D20. That's a broken D20. I can see it there. Foogly, some rule sets are shorter than Joe's house rules. I can attest to that. Swords of Winter Continual Light was shorter than Joe's house rules. And a much larger font. Oh my God. And had artwork. Joe just makes the font smaller. And he admits to that, by the way. He says if he adds house rules, he shrinks the font because he doesn't want to increase the page count and get yelled at.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
That's so dumb.
He's a lawyer, so he's lawyering. You gotta give him that. Joe the lawyer, does he argue precedent and does he have a courtroom reporter? Mr. Gunn, I'll say it again. Dad jokes have no place here. No place here, sir. You will take your dad jokes and you will take your hat and then do something. I don't know. I couldn't evict you if I wanted to. All right. I'm just going to say that right now. So if we get a troll, it's going to be Don. We need you. Don, we got a troll. What are we going to do?
We just screenshot it and send it to Rainwater.
Everybody ignore. I hear Don snoring. I don't know. We're in trouble, Tom. It's going to be like, one of those deals. All right, Mr. Gunn. More potty jokes. I understand it.
So, just recently I came across a video on YouTube. It was a 1 year game master, and he said he was bored with 5e. And so I thought, well, this will be interesting. And he's actually a little bit older than I thought he would be. And so I started watching his videos because, he talked about having a, son with some disabilities. And I was like, right there, feeling that. And then he was also talking about using tabletop games and RPGs to wean his kids off of their video game addiction. And I thought, well, geez, I really like this guy. But he had one video where he talked about the rules he would use. And so he goes, I've been checking all these rules. And he goes, I would use the combat from this OSR rule system, and I would use the initial. And so he listed like 6 games that he had checked out since getting sick of 5e. And he had a whole Frankenstein. He goes, this is what I would do. And I just recommend that you guys go and check out Tabletop Family. He's only got like 250 subs. So, throw the guy a bone, give him a sub. And check out his, I got bored of 5e after DMing for a year. And then he had another video where he talks about, he really has dug into this and has been digging into using gaming to help his kids, particularly to connect with his son with disabilities. So I think the guy's a great guy and well worth. We should try to get him on a show sometime and interview him. But definitely, Tabletop Family is the name of the channel if you can locate it. Okay. We throw a link in the live chat, but we don't have admin. Right?
You can't. We don't have access to it. I'm so sorry. My heart is 2 times too large. Holly says they wouldn't be surprised to find copies up on eBay. Tenkar's Tavern at the sound of a toilet clogging with D&D 2024 rulebook. There are WotC fans dying in India for that WotC book, and you're making toilet jokes about it. And I know there are WotC fans because they come on my videos all the time to tell me how naughty I am to WotC and how I should be nicer to the Lord on high, Wizards of the Coast. So,
well, why actually? I mean, Hasbro is reportedly, the rumor has it, about to buy up Mattel. They're going to be even bigger.
And that's all right. Here we're gonna touch on two, one that's not a rumor. See, the rumor with Mattel is that somebody else is looking to buy Mattel, and Mattel and Hasbro have already in the past tried to figure out, we've got a little synergy. Maybe we can make this work, but you're a square peg, and I'm a round peg. And how do we get that? And they haven't figured it out. But with somebody else coming in to buy out Mattel, now it seems like Hasbro's going, oh, shit, man, we got to shit or get off the pot. And somebody else could buy them out that will invest in them, and then maybe we'll have real competition. So I would, and by the way, Mattel stock shut up, Hasbro stock shut up on the announcement. So if I don't never invest based upon anything Tom, I, or Don talk about, because we don't know shit about investing money. If I did, I wouldn't have this little YouTube channel. I'd have a bigger YouTube channel. But honestly, something's going on if the general public, those that read the tea leaves, and try to like catch the palm of Hasbro, and are saying, "Oh, I see a long life and maybe a future marriage to Mabel Tell." Who knows?
Well, to be fair, the people who are reading tea leaves and predicting a marriage are possibly a bit of a clown or a fish or something along those lines.
Oh, you're talking about those beta boys?
About clownfish?
The betas, yeah. I call them betas because they go, hey, There's a rumor. Can I stretch this rumor into a 75-minute video? Um,
Again,
the rumor's only got a sentence and a half to it. All right, all right. You've convinced me. 50 minutes tops. I won't go a minute past because I can only spew so much clowny fishiness. But there's an actual article on that, by the way. Oh shoot! I just realized something, Tom. You know what else we can't do?
what?
We can't share images. I can't like put up a web page.
I know. I
Oh,
actually had images prepped for the original topic that we're not covering,
right.
and
So
I might as well delete that screen.
so listen here. I'm going to go to see. Listen, when you go to CNBC, you're not going to one of these like the Motley Fool, which is usually accurate, but people go, oh, they hype stuff. This is CNBC. It's about as neutral as you're going to get when it comes to market coverage. And here, I am going to give you the quote from CEO Chris Cox. Mr. Gunn, I'm going to ask you right now, hold the dad jokes until after I read this. All right? That's all I'm going to say. Mr. Gunn, hold off on the dad jokes, okay? I know you're dying. I know you're chomping at the bit. You know, with that whole, I'm thinking of the whole South Park with the whole chokes on yicks. I know where you're going, but we're not going to get there yet. CEO Chris Cox said during the company's earnings call that it continues to invest in its digital gaming portfolio, highlighting the recent appointment of John Haidt as president of Wizards of the Coast and Digital Gaming. Now, if you haven't seen the picture of John Haidt, his official picture that was in all the articles when he got announced makes him look like a 60-year-old wannabe Fonz. He's got no white shirt, no tie, collar up on his jacket, his hair slicked back. So hey, VTT and digital gaming, poof. Between our board move and talent we brought on board, most recently with John, again, Mr. Gunn, I know the toilet humor. His name is John. No, don't go there yet. Don't go there. We're going all in on becoming a digital play company. Now, this going all in generally means you got all those coins in front of you from what you've been playing in this game of poker, and you go, I'm all in. This is what I'm investing. This is where I'm not going to get a better hand than this. That's what they're saying, and that hand is digital. So for those that have been getting mad at people like me, Professor DM, Don and Tom, Bad Mike, for going, WotC is going digital. Doesn't mean they're giving up on physical altogether, but their focus is on digital. And if they happen to give you one of these because you are a tabletop
Like
player,
two of
all right,
those.
deal with them. Hey, papa. You know what it is? It's nothing personal. But you, as a tabletop gamer, if you're a player, you make them virtually no money. If you're a GM, they want you to come to the digital side. Come to the digital. Come, Luke. Come to the digital. Because that's where the reoccurring monies are. That's where subscriptions, that's where microtransactions are, and that's where you don't have to keep physical stock. And I'm gonna now catch up on the holy shit. We're like 10 minutes behind on chat.
I'm not even sure where you left off.
About 30 minutes ago. Lawyers are all about the fine print. Foogly. Holly Mack, give new meaning to reading the fine print. Chubby. Greg, I'm sorry, man, but you're making those potty jokes just getting about. Now I want to make them. Chubby Funster, I heard 2024 we backwards compatible, just like 4E. All right, so just to quote the guys at WotC, it's totally, truly, fully compatible with D&D 2014. However, you know, you
It's
can't mix
essential.
you can't mix your books at the table. So you can't take your 2014 Player's Handbook and your 2024 DMG and your 2014 Munster Manual because it won't be compatible. The first book you should be going won't be compatible. Munster Manual, why not? Are they changing the stats? No, but they're changing everything. Okay, remember in 2014, orcs were still orcs. They weren't Mexicanos. Just saying. So read into it as you may. You can't mix the books. And yes, you can take your 2014 Player's Handbook Fighter and play in a game with 2024 characters with one caveat. You know what the caveat is? You can do it, but you don't want to. You wouldn't want to because the new stuff is so much better. The new stuff goes to,
Overpowered.
yeah, the new stuff goes to 12. If you thought 5e went to 11, Spinal Tap reference for those that are following at home. 2024 amps it up to 12 or 13. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe they have the Hackmaster hit point kickers involved in this too. I don't know. Maybe that's like everybody just add 20 hit points at first level. You don't want to die. You want to make sure you can live a bit. Live it up. Don't worry about it. Survive a fireball. So
Yeah.
all right. I was ranting there.
Your character will be miserably outclassed.
Yeah, you can play, but you'll be mocked. Your fellow players be like, "Oh, look at the sissy fighter! Look at the sissy fighter! What do you think you can do? You're gonna swing your sword? I'll sit back and laugh. But by the way, let me do my automatic 6 points of damage.
You know,
And
what? You know what's funny is when I first got back in the D&D in a 3.5 group, I said, well, I realize I'm out of touch. Let me just play a fighter. It'll be simple. I won't have to keep track of any spell casting. And I came up with a concept for my character, and I wanted him to be like a Roman soldier, and that he would have a spear he would throw, and then he'd draw his sword and charge into combat. And everybody's like, no, you need a bow. And I'm like, no, I don't want a bow. I got a spear. I got a missile weapon. And so he throws his spear. He charges into combat. So I refused to get a bow. And it was such a problem at the table. The game master gave me one of those magic spears that you throw it and then it reappears in your hand.
Oh, okay.
I forget what that's called. Yeah. And so I was like, and then I'm like, all right, I have to bend to the will of the table. They want me to be able to shoot arrows like everybody else. And I just thought that was stupid. No, I have a character concept I want to play, and this is what I want to play. But no. You got to have a bow like everybody else. In this case, it was a magic arrow that reappeared in my hand. I just kept rethrowing it. And I thought that was stupid.
But they had to bring you up in power to be as good as everybody else.
Yeah. It was just an insistence. You've got to get on board with everybody else, and so I eventually had to bow to the thing. And so then I thought, all right, next character I play will be a monk. They can't force me to have a bow because the monk can dance through the enemies and then go kick somebody in the head in the back row, presumably the shaman, but in the end, I really didn't like 3.5 anyways. It just kind of got on my nerves how slow it played.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to try to catch up a little bit on some chat. Not going to get to every chat. I'm sorry. It's nothing personal. If Hasbro buys Mattel, will that be a violation of antitrust? That is a question that did come up in the article, Mr. Gunn. But, I mean, listen, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, antitrust is so rarely an issue because nobody wants to poke the big companies for fear of them going, oh no, I rained money and now I'm not as wealthy. They don't listen. If they were going to do that, Google would have been broken up a long time ago. And if Alphabet can control half the internet, with the other half controlled by Amazon, and there's been no antitrust. I don't think that those companies are big enough to bring that into play. Of course, knowing YouTube, I'm probably shadow banned now, but hey, that's okay. Um, He-Man D&D, Barbie D&D. I'm sure they've both been done.
By somebody, yeah.
Yep,
I'm sure at a convention.
yep. Your seat at the table. I suspect there's plenty of Barbie D&D crossovers in existence already. Can Barbie get her own OGL? We need an OGL for paper dolls, right? It wasn't like when I was a kid too. Like they had color forms, right? You had the paper dolls. Imagine if paper dolls had an OGL, then anybody could just dress your paper doll. Oh, I guess they could theoretically.
Yeah.
If there's a Barbie RPG, then it's probably overdue. Skipper the RPG. Thank you for I don't want to think about that. But of course, I thought of Skipper from Gilligan's Island, but I still wouldn't want to play a Gilligan's Island RPG because it's like saying, all right, here's a question. Brady Bunch or Partridge Family? If you were going to make an RPG out of one,
Ooh,
which one would it be?
Brady Bunch. I
They
gotta go
went on,
Brady.
because they actually went to Hawaii. They had that whole thing with the Udu Voodoo thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Marsha. I just want to say at the table, Marsha.
oh my God. Marsha. Oh, Jim.
Does that count as role play?
It must in some world. Oh, my nose. If it's time to change, you have to rearrange who you are to what you're gonna be. Sorry, folks. Yes. Even the Brady Bunch had musical numbers. It wasn't just a Partridge Family.
Well, Mr. Fugly, with the various Barbies equaling character classes, I know who internet trolls will play. They're going to play Ken because he has no balls. Oops. I had to get a dad joke in.
He got a good dad joke in. All right. Here I am trying to play catch up, and I'm still 9 minutes behind. 5th level Malibu Barbie. Oh my God. Barbie the Barbarian. Thank you, Fugly, for that one.
Oh, I like that.
Barbie the Rogue. Jane Austen Good Society RPG. There actually is one. Thank you, Mr. Gunn. How you knew that, I don't want to know, but I'm sure you enjoy playing it. I sorry, you don't play it, you run it. Never mind. I forgot how deep you go. Barbie the Drow Priestess. Yeah, no, that would be interesting.
It would be more inclusive.
Barbie the Barbarian is Red Sonja. All right, true.
Would Ken be an orc?
Ooh. Only a new orc. Couldn't be an old orc.
Yeah. One of the new orcs, because I don't think they have balls either.
Yeah. Mr. Gunn, the outer space version is Barbarella. I could see that as a Barbie. Horrible movie. It was horrible for the time, not just now.
Terrible. Yeah.
Diana is playing a D&D 2014 character in 2024 game will be like bringing a third edition character to a Pathfinder game. Exactly. By the way, folks, and Diana makes a very good point. When they brought out 4E, the real killer of third edition was Pathfinder, right? Because Pathfinder was 3.75. How are they going to actually reinvent 5e with 5.5? But they can't call it 5.5 because then it's a new edition and that's dangerous in this day and age. So you don't want to get angry fans, folks. Social media, you wouldn't want that. Where we were going, they don't need hit points. Everyone gets a puppy. Scott, to borrow 20 hit points will be a microtransaction.
Oh, Oh,
You want to see
that's
what
a
the table?
thought. You'd be able to use a microtransaction to buy yourself a
Hit
healing
points.
surge, wouldn't you?
Yeah, yeah. Good for everybody. The girlfriend of a roommate I had back in the late '90s turned her Barbie collection into a lineup for Xena. There you go. My daughters always ended up with all Barbies naked, and they laughed. Hasbro might have protection and antitrust lawsuit to some degree now that it's been shutting down its toy divisions and focusing on digital content. Yeah, we got to see how far that shutdown goes. They really haven't. They've been lightening up on physical product, but you would think that a company that wants to go all digital wouldn't have sold off their movie and TV division. But maybe they'll just start up a new one. No, there is no Google. There's no Barbie TTRPG. The Monkeys, the Bard centric RPG. I can see that fully. Yes, Mr. Gunn, Bard centric. I at some point will write a Bard RPG and you will fucking play it. And you will like it. Or not. That's okay. New version of Barbarella is in the works. Brady Bunch DCC funnel. That I could see as a con game. Oh my! Actually, not just Brady Bunch. Here's the thing. All right, so picture this. We're gonna go with Dallas here for a second. DCC funnel. Everybody gets 4 characters, and you get 4 of the Brady Bunch. You get 4 from the Partridge Family. You get 4 monkeys, right?
Oh.
You get 4 characters from Gilligan's Island.
I want Gilligan's Island.
All right, and I'm trying to think of some other stupid shows from back then, but you got that could, and you don't even have to do DCC. You could run that with Swords and Wizardry. You could run that with whatever, but that would be this. Oh my God, the '70s OSR funnel. Who will survive? Bobby survives, probably only because he's the smallest and you leave him behind. You know. Try to stack these characters out like you would say, who's the smartest, who's the most charismatic, who's the dumbest, Yeah. Oh my God, no, this is.
Adam West Batman. I want to funnel play the bad guys.
Oh, yeah, we include the Addams family, you know what? Yes.
Yeah.
The Addams family and the monsters, and then you got a whole 60s, 70s funnel. Oh my God, that might be a little work to get it out, but that would be bizarrely fun. And it's like, all right, who's got the monster? Who's got? Yeah, no. Holy. All right, so I got news for you, Tom, and I don't want to shock you or scare you, but we've been doing this for 54 minutes already.
Yeah. And we still haven't covered the topic.
No, we're not gonna, because I gotta bounce out and get ready for the tavern hangout.
All right. Well, I wanna plug what I think's gonna happen with this Modifius Space 1999 license. I've been doing a second look at, and because I also own Star Trek Adventures from them, which is actually like 340 something pages of
right.
rule book. And I went back and started reading it. I'm like, oh, that's why I never finished reading this, because it's just so much. You turn a page and you're reading, and it's like, I don't need to read this. This is so much just fluff. They've just inflated this book. But this game is really a miniatures game. It's a hearkening back to the wargaming roots of the hobby, and it really plays as a war game. And some of the pictures I prepped were some of the Modifius miniatures for Star Trek, some of them for their Fallout license.
Okay.
And so they are going into it's a war game company, but we call it role playing. They still keep some role playing, enough role playing elements you can say, oh, it is a role playing game. it really is a war. I think it's a wargaming company, and this is why you don't see them producing like classic RPG adventure modules, because people will be like grabbing them and using them with 5e or with other rule sets. It's more campaigns. Oh, here's campaigns and missions. This is a campaign book. This is a setting book. This is a resource book. That's what their whole lineup is, plus the miniatures. And I think what you will see coming out of this Space 1999 is some really cool miniatures that harken back to the original series. And, you'll have a Martin Landau looking figure that'll be kind of cool looking, and, because they'll be 32 millimeter scale. And so you will get some cool miniatures out of this. Whether they profit from the license or not, I don't know, but I think they're going to sell some miniatures, and I'll probably buy some because I have a miniatures addiction a little bit. So that's what I think is going to go on with Modifius. I don't know that they're really going to be. I don't know if the license is going to profit them. I think there's too many problems with going with the license so out of date. But cool miniatures coming, people. If you're into miniatures like I am.
Cool running. All right, folks. Now, listen, here's something else. We can't guarantee you that this stream will end when we end. If that makes any sense to you, okay? I can't call you, and I can't call Don because he's probably sleeping. So, when Tom and I go bye-bye, and this endless stream is here eating up our StreamYard time, remember, we had no control.
Yeah. I have restreamed this to my channel. I think I can actually stop that restream.
Okay.
So
I will see if I can figure out how to stop it on my channel.
Oh no, I can't.
No, I don't think you can.
I can remove it from my channel, but I cannot.
Right, I don't want to trash it. I want to keep it up there.
Well, that's what's going to happen. So, well. All right, Eric. Good seeing you.
Yeah, good seeing you. We'll try to tell Don to kill the stream at some point.
Yeah, we'll send him a private message.
Yeah. Right. Love you all.
All right, guys. Nice chat with you all tonight.
Yep.
It's good seeing you.
Later.